Okay, I think we're good. All right, hi David. So there's so much to talk to you about, but I first have to start with your brand new single, Faith in Me. So how did the process of this song come about, and what does the track personally mean to you?
So this song I'd actually written like a while ago, like a year and a half ago, and it was originally I called it Miami because it had like this Miami Vice feel to it, and it was high energy, and so it was fun, but it wasn't really where I wanted it to be. It wasn't. It felt like there were a lot of missing pieces, and then so I put it on the shelf, and then I came out last year and have been like on this journey with that. And so I've had like a year, sitting with what it's like to be comfortable being, just accepting being queer. And uh, I came back to the song. I'm like, I want to release this because I want something fun right now. I want something that feels like I'm breaking free and just like letting loose. But so I went back, I entirely rewrote the verse and the pre-chorus, and we changed the some of the sounds and stuff, and so it ended up, going from Miami to Faith in Me, and I
Got it.
related more of the experience of what it's been like coming into myself, like, and what it's like to now be in this new place in my life after coming out, and how liberating it feels. So I was very happy having it come out and was very excited to put that energy out to my followers and
Yeah.
anyone else who happens to come across the song.
Yeah, the liberating feeling really pops out with the music video also. So I love the moments where you're like dancing like nobody's watching in it. So how would you describe the concept
Thank
of the
you.
music video and what filming the music video is like?
Yeah, well, thank you. That was the goal. I wanted it to feel like, because one of the most liberating experiences for me is to be dancing at home, like just having
Yeah.
a great song and just like you don't care what anyone is thinking because no one else is there. So you just like, but I want to give that feeling like, what is that feeling like, but out in the open? And to be honest, that's what it felt like coming out. Like you
Yeah.
feel like all this like self-conscious and like worried, but like it's the feeling of like dancing at home, like no one's watching, how it feels. And to like, I don't know, explore that, like dating guys and things. And it's been a very liberating experience. It was scary at first, um, especially coming from like a religious background and being so committed to
Mhm.
that before. But it's been great, and I just wanted to have fun with the video, and the directors Justin Thorne and Kevin McHale. Um, we had a lot of fun shooting it and like making some references to other movies and things. So
Yeah. The fun definitely comes across. I was like, I wish I could do that. Like, I mean, I can do it, but we all get embarrassed. But like walking the city streets, just like vibing. Okay, so you've mentioned this, but over the past year and a half, you've had such a roller coaster ride of things going on. So I first wanted to ask about your coming out journey, which I think was beautifully touched upon during your 2022 Love Loud set. But I wanted to ask, how overwhelming was the initial reaction to your coming out, like post, Instagram posts, and all that stuff for you? And now that it's been some time, how liberating has this past year felt?
well, thank you again. Yeah, oh, sorry. I think I have a new kitten and he's to hang out with me. Um, but so it was, I couldn't believe the support. I mean, that was like my most, on Instagram, I decided to come out on Instagram, and because I felt like it was a more safe little place for me to just reach out to my followers. I had no idea that, um, sorry, there's like a walking stick crawling up my window right here, and it's like this big. I'm like,
All the animals and creatures are out
I didn't
right
even know
now.
they were around here. That is humongous. Holy crap. Okay, I know, like I feel like Dr. Doolittle or something. Just like everyone's over here wanting to hang out. So
Yes. I was gonna ask to see the cat, so
yeah, this is Frosty.
Hi, Frosty.
Yeah. Anyway, go that way, Frosty. Um. Yeah. Because it's like if I get, if I, if it's like an attention grabbing post for me, like I'd probably get like, somewhere between 30 to 50,000 likes on something, and that's a lot for me, at least. I mean, I know some people have more likes than I have followers, but I uh, I had gotten like 3 to 4 times the amount of that on that post, and I didn't realize how. I guess I didn't realize how supportive the that community, not just the LGBT. I mean, I didn't. I was surprised at how supportive the LGBT community would be, and I was also surprised at how supportive everyone else would be. Like, especially
Mhm.
people from my church community, like Mormons, Latter Day Saints. I thought it was going to be like so disappointing. Like, oh, what, this is so shocking and so upsetting. And really, like, the majority of people and my friends, even like from church, because I was in this bubble. Like, I try to protect myself from my feelings and my sexuality and attractions. um, so to have so many people reach out and just say, we are so proud of you, so happy for you, this doesn't change anything, we still love you, and we're so happy for you. It was so, um, it's relieving, because you're afraid to let people down. You're afraid to let your community down. Like, that was my everything before. Like, at the time, it was my everything, and it was my purpose for living. I mean, I lived my life for my beliefs and for my career. And
Mhm.
so to feel like I was like turning away from it and like turning my back on people, and I felt like people were going to turn their back on me, and it not be the case for the most part was really wonderful.
We said positive vibes only.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping
Yeah,
for.
and because I'd heard so many things too. Like, it's not like I don't know. I don't have a ton of friends anyway. Like, it's not like I'm making friends left and right ever in my life. But from what I had heard and like some of the rumors, when I would come from like a more religious based background, people would always say like LGBT people in the community, they're so cutthroat, they're so mean to each other,
um,
and it's like they're all sassy and talk behind each other's backs and tear each other down, and I guess, I mean, I guess that could exist in some circles or some areas, just because of everything that people have to go through, like being judged so much and criticized, and a lot of trauma goes into it, is a part of the LGBT community because of everything they go through. And I can see that now. I can see what I mean, because when you're simply just existing for who you are, and you happen to be queer, you happen to be gay, you happen to be bisexual, or you happen to be trans, or just anything that is different from the heterosexual norm or like the cis norm, um, you get a lot of judgment. And
mhm.
so you try to change what you are, and to the point where, especially like, religiously background, a lot of us think, it's better to not exist than to live as we are. And it's not like you're choosing to live as you are. You're like doing everything possible you can to not be how you are.
Yeah.
And you realize it doesn't work. And so you think, okay, maybe it's better that I don't live. And they make you, and the talk, the discussions and the conversation that is had around you makes you feel that way. It makes you feel like you're better off not being around anymore and not living than to live in such a horrible way. So I think there's a lot of conflict. There's a lot of mental gymnastics and things that people have to go through, and people who are being rejected by their families, and people who are, um, being shunned, because it's like, oh, like,
Mhm.
luckily, it's that's there's been a lot of turnaround recently, but I can only imagine what people have had to go through a few decades ago. So Yeah, so I can see why people think, oh, these people, but it's like, do you realize you're causing a lot of this? You're causing a lot of this because of the way
Yeah.
you've treated them and the way you've shunned them and the way you've kicked them out. And, I had people, after I came out, I had some people who said, like, we shunned our daughter, we kicked her out, or like we stopped talking to our son because we thought it was the best thing. And now we're realizing that was a mistake. But it's the culture to think, well, if I discipline them with love and make them leave, it will teach them a lesson and they'll come
Yeah.
back and be straight.
I know.
But so it's like, uh, anyway, but it was not. It's been nothing of the sort. They've been so supportive, um, and the LGBT community and the queer community have been really like walking through and like guiding and helping like you're not alone and feeling like, is this okay? Like, how do I go about this and all this stuff? It's yeah.
Hey, I love that so much. I think, see, another beautifully said, like, answer from you again. And also, like, another issue you were, like, dealing with this past year and a half was your vocal surgery, like, vocal recovery issue. And you recently made a reappearance on American Idol during that vocal recovery, which I thought was really cute. So what was it like to revisit the show and have, like, a segment dedicated to you and your super fans?
I thought that was so fun. Um, it was like a way of kind of, it helped me heal a little bit too, because like, I feel like a lot of things can affect your like way of thinking, and I don't know if that's trauma. I guess it is. Like it's like
Mm.
a form of being traumatized in a way. I don't want to overuse that word, um, but sometimes when you go through something, it changes your behavior, it changes how you feel about things, and you get more anxious in situations and nervous, and you're like projecting some of your past experiences onto where you are now, and it
Mm.
makes you scared, it makes you kind of hide. And American Idol was such an incredible experience, and at the same time it caused a lot of um, sadness in my life because of a lot of it was a lot of attention that I wasn't ready for,
Mhm.
and I didn't know how to navigate it. And on top of that, it wasn't just positive, like, wow, you're such a great singer kind of thing. It was a lot of this bad press and attention that I got because of my relationship with my dad.
Mhm.
And it was hard because that kept being exploited. And when you're a teenager, like your relationship with your parents is an important one, and you try to have like a good balance. Like you're trying to have like a good flow. And I felt like my relationship with my dad kept getting exploited. I felt like I didn't really have a voice. And whether it was because my dad was speaking for me or because the American Idol talk and press was speaking for me, and I just it's a hard thing to look back at and be like, I can't watch American Idol really. I, I'm trying to
Yeah.
again, like I'm trying to like find like my healing, but it's hard for me because it brings back so much stress. Like
Yeah.
it makes me kind of shaky because it was an experience that had a huge effect on my family. Um, because it's like you're talking about this person, but he's also the father of like several other kids, and my mom's trying to figure out things with him, I'm trying to figure out things with him, and it's just like my dad's trying to figure out things himself. And so it's like, how do you figure out family issues while everyone, when you're having the most amount of attention on you that you've ever had, and you don't have a moment to yourself, you don't have privacy, and like I don't know how to come to peace with that yet. So going back, it was really scary for me because I couldn't get out of that mentality. It was just like it was a lot for me to take in. But going there
Yeah.
and seeing some of the people again and like having them hug me and seeing that, I don't know. It's like you in your head for some reason you think everyone's mad at you and everyone thinks, I don't know why, but just in my head like everyone who had worked there had like something against me, and so I felt like I had to be guarded and like I was scared. I get like I was getting like a bit of like an anxiety attacks and
Mm.
stuff because I'm like, I don't want to be here. Like I don't want to do this. Like why am I here? And and I can't watch any reality TV because of it. Actually, now I'm just like I just can't. It's too much for me. Everything that goes behind,
Yeah.
like people who are, it's like a real person, but with a twist, and I don't know. Just
Yeah.
thinking about it makes me stress out. But seeing other contestants who went through the same thing, and seeing the producers that I worked with, and realizing, oh, I actually have good memories as well. Like I had
Yeah.
fond memories. I got along with these people. Like these are my friends, and and they're happy for me. Like they're excited to see me. Like it was really healing. Like I was like, I don't know why, but you just for some reason you think people hate you for some reason, and I don't even know why. I have no idea
Yeah.
why I was feeling like that, but it was nice to go back, and the fact that they, let me have a moment with those girls when they were
Yeah.
when they were screaming and like crying, it was a lot of fun, and that they were all like so good, such good sports. Like I was like, oh my, anyway, it was a lot of fun.
I know. Yeah, no, I did the math last night. I was 7 years old because I watched your entire
Oh my
season,
gosh.
and I was seven when you won. I voted for you. I was one of the people on the phone, but
Oh my
um,
gosh. Well,
it's
thank you. I
crazy.
got runner up, but I
Yeah,
thank
I
you.
know. I'm
Uh,
because I wanted to say, you may not have won American Idol, but you did win America Sings.
oh yeah.
On
Yeah.
iCarly, and I just watched your TikTok last night too, where you were saying, you didn't sing on the episode you made a cameo on, which kind of relates to like the stress you were going through. But to make it a more fun question, I just wanted to ask, now that they're doing an iCarly reboot, would you ever say yes to making another cameo as the legendary America Sings winner?
Oh my gosh. um, I I mean, I don't know. I guess if it came up, I would have to think about it because I do love, I know one of my dear friends that I made from being on there is Jennette McCurdy, and she's just released a book, and she kind of talked about everything that she went through with her mom, and going through with the show and stuff, and so like I try to be like mindful of my friends. Like, I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I try to be respectful because she's become one of my dearest friends. And, but, and Miranda's super sweet too. I love Miranda
yeah,
and the others as well. But so I know some of them have gone ahead with it and others haven't. And so, like, out of respect, like, I know, Jennette can't because it's like Jennette and I actually have we've had a lot of talks together about our parents because we went through a lot
mhm,
of the same dynamics of like our family, our it's like a lot of what Jennette talks about with her mom. I went through a lot of that myself. Oh, sorry. Can you just Hey, Alyssa, I'm just on a Zoom interview right now. No worries. Um, my roommate just got it. But,
love it.
so I. Oh, that's not your food.
Aw,
Sorry, do you want? I'll be there.
yeah. I love living by myself.
Okay, sorry about that.
We love having new pets.
Yeah, new pets. Yeah, there's a puppy named Tahoe here now too. So, um, yeah, so I try to be respectful with that because I'm like the way she's kind of gone through things with like she has like other things on top of just her mom's dynamic, but it's like it reminds me of my dynamic I had to go through with my
Mm,
dad. Like it taints your experience because of the the personal relationship you have going on that is coinciding with everything you're going through.
there's like
And
context kind of.
yeah, but she invited me to come on to her podcast one time to talk about a lot of that dynamic, and it's so interesting because we when we met, like we were both, she was I think 16 and I was 17. We were both Mormon. Like we were both latter like grew up in the same religion, so we
Mm,
related on that aspect, but at the same time we always had this unspoken like connection because we both had this interesting dynamic with our parents.
yeah. I know she's had a tour de force this year too. Like So much going on. I also wanted to ask because you have a tour coming up soon, the More the Merrier Christmas tour,
Yeah.
which is starting for the upcoming holiday season. I personally love that you have two Arizona dates because
Are
people
you in
really
Arizona?
always, I'm from Phoenix, people always
Oh.
overlook Arizona, so I'm really excited. What can fans expect from this Christmas tour, and what's been your favorite part about preparing for it?
Um, my I'm looking forward to like I've mentioned this a couple times now. Like it's been difficult trying to navigate Christmas for me because before it was always so deeply rooted in like a religious under like tone of the
Undertone.
show.
Yeah.
Like it's like not even undertone. It was like right up and forward there, and like I made it central to my shows almost, and to a point where I feel like I've needed to take a step back because I've been on such a ride. Because I related so much of my beliefs and my faith to like this will help me change. Like I can, God could change anything. He can change water to wine. He can like make the blind to see. Like he can change people who are attracted to the same sex, which is like I've always been taught is such a bad thing. Like he can change that about me too, and I have hope in that. And if I have faith in him and lean on him, he'll help me overcome my feelings for guys. And it's gotten to a point where it's like, you know what? I've learned that that's not what it should be. It's not the case,
Mhm.
and I shouldn't be so afraid of this that I need a savior to save me from my from my sexuality because it's a beautiful part of me. And so it's hard to be on this journey of accepting myself and then like going back to this place of like Christmas where I love the Christmas shows. I love Christmas songs, and there's like this
Yeah.
beauty and this like nostalgia and this light to that time of year and this happiness. And um, so going to it's just revisiting it now at this time of life is very it's just interesting. So I'm making it, I'm not making it as deeply in those roots. I think I'm gonna look back to it just for out of the nostalgia of it,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna make it more just fun and relate it more to where I'm at now in life. Um, so that'll be interesting. But I think it'll be good, like owning back this piece of myself because Christmas like has been such a part of my life, and just kind of redefining it now, and that's a little tricky, but I'm
I
I'm
think
I'm looking forward to it.
sounds like the best way to do it is to have fun. This is the final question. So you're just a super busy human. So you just got off of doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, and you
Oh,
also have like a feature coming out with Lindsay Sterling for the holiday season.
oh
So
yeah.
I
Has that been
just,
announced?
yeah, yep. I think it
I didn't know
has.
if it's been announced or not. I need to post about it.
I know. I mean, it was in my little email, but I can't wait to see
Oh,
what comes
okay.
next from you. So, what can all the Archuleta stands look forward to in the upcoming future, and what are you most excited for in this upcoming year?
Um, I honestly have no idea what this next year is going to look like for me because I feel like this last year I've been just trying to figure out what do I do with myself? Like, who am I now? And
Yeah,
now I have to figure out, okay, what am I going to do with who I'm figuring out who I am? Because I was so deeply integrated into my purpose being with my beliefs. And as a Latter-day Saint or aka Mormon, like your purpose is so much in a man and a woman marrying each other and creating like having kids together.
yeah,
Like that is the ultimate like godly experience in our like the Latter-day Saint faith. And to no longer have that as my ultimate like purpose. Like I'm not saying it's a never say never, like never say never, but at this point I've said to one of my church leaders, I'm like at this point I'm more like much more likely to marry a man.
mm,
And so what would that mean for me? And so I'm like, okay, what's my purpose now?
yeah,
Because literally it was to marry a woman and have kids with her. and it's not that anymore. And so I've had to deconstruct a lot of stuff. And like my music, I would always like refer. I'm like, I'm gonna make music that's gonna help people feel close, connected to God and stuff. So I'm like, what do I do now? I don't know. But I would
Slight
love to.
reconstruction.
Yes, I
Yeah.
need to figure some that out a little more.
Yeah.
But maybe more musicals. Those are fun, but or maybe more fun stuff like I did with this Faith in Me because I loved that was a lot of fun as well. I'm excited about this Lindsey Sterling song because I love her, um, and I love the song that she asked me to do with her. I'm so excited for people to hear
Yeah. It will be a magical song, pun intended. Pun intended.
it.
Uh, thank you so much
Bye.
for speaking with me today. I'm sending nothing but positive energy your way for the
Thank
rest of
you.
this year.
Thanks,
Yes, thank you
Austin.
so much.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
to
great.
talk to you.
Thank you, Austin.
Thank you, Ken. Bye,
Thanks,
guys.
Ken.
Bye.